is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. Welcome, welcome everyone. I give thanks for all my blessings. For Karen Drucker especially. Nani, this is her song. God is my source. God is my power. Everything I need. So I give thanks for the science of mind and everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. Everything I need. So I give thanks for community, yeah, everything I need. So I give thanks. I give thanks all day long. I give thanks for this cold, rainy weather. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Everything I need. God is your source. God is your power. God gives you everything you need. So you can give thanks for all your blessings. God gives you everything you need. So if you're in the room today, you have every opportunity to go out into that lobby after you enjoy some hospitality here inside the sanctuary and visit our community out there in the lobby. Joy and yes, we have all sorts of artwork in the lobby. That's what I want to let you know. It is Valentine's week and we have so much to celebrate. Amen. Yes. Good morning, everyone. This is the music of Janice Stanfield. I do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good. You look so beautiful that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good, yeah, that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. Woo! I cannot do all the good that the world needs, that the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs. The world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good. Just let that music wash over you. And if you feel it, you can sing it along with me. Come on now. Yeah. It may be cold and rainy outside, but it is warm in my heart for you. Come on, Jimmy. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I can do. Yeah, Jimmy, I've been thinking about you. How are you? So good to see you. Yeah, it's good to be here with hospitality like this, isn't it? Welcome home, everybody. It's good to have you here. My drummer's got to get ready. I'm doing great. It's Gratitude Jazz Day, and I'm on fire today. Come on now. We love that here. We are so honored to be able to bring that to our community. Oh, yeah. It's all about the feet. You got to move your feet and move your seats. Good morning at home. Come on, a groove. Get your groove on. We have come here to love one another. Come on, Joy. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family. We're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. We have enough room on the left side of the pew. If you have a different pew, you can stay over there. But come on now, we need more singers over here on this left side. What happened? You're just trying to be near the minister. I see that. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. Amen. We are family. We're family all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. We got some new lyrics. I'm trying to get my mind around it. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, feels good, doesn't it? Oh, it feels so good. We were dancing earlier, so you got to get your groove on with us now. You were late. Come on, get your groove on. Come on, Doris. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family. We're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah, she's here. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, Nana. Yeah, Nana. If this is Nana. If this is Nana. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are our family, we're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Don't wait for your good, you know. Come on and get it, get it, get it. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Coming back around. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Oh, 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 oh. Na na na. Oh, 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 oh. I see the islands all over you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Spirit in motion leader, there she is. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Come on.
Well, we all been in the islands dancing with the love, and we're here now. Morning, everybody. Morning. You're good, good, good. Welcome to everyone. My name is Ife Senachi Nana. You may call me Nana. My pronouns are she and her, and I proudly serve as a practitioner at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We are a center that educates and engages the seeker on their spiritual path. As a member of the global movement Centers for Spiritual Living, our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. No matter where you are on your spiritual journey, SLCA is where you belong. For more information about today's service and ways to connect during the week, please take a moment to scan the QR code found either on the back of the seat in front of you or the one displayed on our monitor. We are grateful for your presence this morning.
I invite you to stand with me if it feels comfortable to do so, or you can remain seated. It's up to you, but we welcome you at home as well to sing along with us. You are welcome here. There is a space in my heart where I can find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. When we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Go ahead, look around that room at each other, yeah. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow it unfold. Embrace, let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom and love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we can ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Open your arms, open your heart. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much. Please be seated.
Yes, yes, yes. You are welcome here. Good morning, good morning. Good to see you all. I am David Alexander. I'm the spiritual director here. My pronouns are he and his. And welcome to Super Bowl Sunday at SLCA. It's always a super Sunday to be in this house, in this place. We're grateful that you are here. Well, hello to everybody watching online on YouTube and Facebook. Now, I know we got members. We even have some of our licensed prayer practitioners who reside in Kansas City, so we know what they're about today. Any other Chiefs fans rooting in the house today?
Yes.
Oh, okay, a few. How about the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like the Eagles got it.
Whoever has the ball.
Whoever has them. All right, well, you're going to be busy. This is going to be a busy evening for you. You're like the mother of the two sons, right? Whoever's got the ball. Yeah.
Kelsey.
That's right. William saw the commercial, and we're out in Lawrenceville. He's part of the Collins Hill cluster, and they're the Eagles. And so we were watching some preview, and he said, "Daddy, are we going to watch that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, who are you rooting for?" I said, "Well, I really like Patrick Mahomes. I'd probably root for the Chiefs." And he just looked at me, and he said, "Well, you know I'm an Eagle." He said, I'm rooting for the Eagles. I said, okay, that's fine. So anyway, but we got lots to do here, a jazz concert this afternoon, all before that happens. So it's a great day to be in community today. We're continuing our Revolutionary and Evolutionary Love series that we started last month, and we just invite you to lean into that continued conversation. Today, our affirmation is, I am a vessel of evolutionary love. I give myself permission to show up to life armed with love, strong enough to transform everything. All is made new through love, and I am a vessel of evolutionary love. We'll say it again, one line at a time, and invite you to repeat, and then we'll do it all together the third time. Take a breath. I am a vessel of evolutionary love. And I give myself permission to show up to life armed with love strong enough to transform everything.
Armed, strong enough with love to transform everything.
All is made new through love.
All is made new through love.
And I am a vessel of evolutionary love.
And I am a vessel of evolutionary love.
Taking a breath. Let's do it one more time together. I am a vessel of evolutionary love. I give myself permission to show up to life armed with love strong enough to transform everything. All is made new through love. And I am a vessel of evolutionary love. And so it is. And so we let it be. Give yourselves a hand for being here today. Good morning. We're glad you're here.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
I have 2 grandchildren. My granddaughter is almost as tall as I am, and she's 12. Okay. So I said to her, "You are growing. Who gave you permission to get this tall?" And she said, "I gave myself permission." Okay. And so that is really what we all have to give ourselves permission to be. So be with me in this moment, in this space, focused here, present here, and know this with me. There is one spirit, one presence, everywhere equally present at all times, and wherever I am. This spirit that we call by so many different names is right here, and that is the truth for each one of us. And knowing that we are never separated from spirit, it gives me great peace. It gives me peace for myself, for my loved ones, for the goings on in the world. And I know that I am created in the image and the likeness of this spirit, so I too am spirit, having this human experience, and I'm human having a spiritual experience. And I was made in love, so I am love. It's not just that the Creator loves its creation, but its creation is love. And as love, I know that I can show up, and I do show up, and with the intention of being the best me, being fully present, being fully me, the expression that cannot be duplicated or replicated. So I am uniquely a God presence. And I marvel, and I am grateful, and I just know that all is well because I have the power. I have the love that can change all things. We are told that love covers and wipes out a multitude of wrong thinking. And so in these times when we see what we see, we know that we need to be a stronger love force. And I am that. I am that. I am. That I am. And knowing this, I give thanks. I give thanks, and I just revel in the wonderful nature show that is presented every day, the miracles that are unfolding all around me, the things that are growing, the things that are just in the natural flow of life, because life is an exchange of giving, receiving, coming and going, birth and transition, and it is all part of the evolution of life, the evolution of love, the evolution of who we are as spiritual beings. I am so grateful for this place. I am so grateful for our spiritual director, Reverend David Alexander, and the way that he works and the service that he brings and the example that he lives. Because we know that when things are in alignment, we walk the talk, we talk the walk. And there's no separation and there's no imbalance. For that, I am grateful, the example that he provides for us, the examples that I see in people all around me. I too am inspired. I too have to remember to keep my light shining. All of us do. And we know that it shines, and we know that in this place where we stand, there is a bright spot, and we take it with us everywhere that we go. We give thanks for just families and for the community and for each one of us who is here, for each one of us along the way. And we know that these words are never coming back void. They have already begun their journey, their process of manifestation. And we affirm this together, and we say, so it is. Ashe.
With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. Through me. Thank you, Nana, for that beautiful prayer. So the last couple of weeks, I've been trying a new technique. I've been breathing consciously into my heart. I just invite you to do that for yourselves. Just take a breath, use your imagination, and breathe in the direction of your heart. As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light in a darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate gently, deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance, may my anthem be. Love, cover me, light in a darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love cover me. I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love cover me. I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. Love cover me. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love cover me. Jimmy got it. All right.
Jimmy did get it. Yeah.
Got him some.
So beautiful. Thank you, Penelope. Let's give her another hand. I'm going to stay right there. She just kind of laid down a track for us, a groove. I'm going to try to stay right in that groove today as we do this. Take a deep breath. We're going to start with this. What's developed for me as a new spiritual practice since our staff retreat. Our staff retreat was just so good. That's all we can tell you about it. We can't tell you anything else. We can't tell you where we were. We can't tell you what we did necessarily, but I can tell you that it was so good. And one of the things that came out of it for me was this, what I'm going to call an activation spiritual practice. So we integrated it last week into week 1 of our Evolutionary Love series, these affirmations. So take a deep breath and just say, I am awake. Do it again. I am awake. I am awake. There you go. If you're awake, say you're awake. It's amazing. We think, well, of course I'm awake. I'm here. I'm sitting here. I got dressed. I drove. But, you know, a lot of us walk through life unconscious or do things by rote or by automatic habit. I hope that nobody's here by just rote automatic habit. I hope that attending here is a conscious choice and activity. But yet we get lulled into sleep and into unconscious patterns, even when we're walking through our daily life. So we begin with just, I'm awake. We just invite ourselves to be awake and aware, to be consciously paying attention. And that awakeness, that a state of wakefulness leads us to being available. Take a deep breath. I'm available. And feel that through your body. Just make yourself available. I'm available. Feel it inside of your being, your arms just stretching open. I'm available. I'm awake and I'm available. I'm available to my greater good. I'm available to my greater prosperity. I'm available. Fill it in the blank, whatever it is that you're available for. I'm available for love. I'm available for peace. I'm available for wholeness, to transformation. Whatever it is that you're seeking, make yourself available. It's amazing how many times we are after things in our life and we simply don't make ourselves available to it, and yet we're chasing it all the time. And we're saying, well, why aren't I getting it? Why aren't I catching up? Why isn't more of it showing up in my life? I'm chasing. But you're chasing, but you're not available. I just called some people out right there. Chasing things, but you're not available to it. So I'm available. And when you're available and you feel that availability opening up in your spirit and your essence, then what we have to do here is to reaffirm what is always true about our soul. Because if you're really available, then it means you're receptive to that greater good coming into your life. So if you're really available, you got to remind yourself, I am enough. Just say, I am enough. I am enough. Because when we make ourselves available, then suddenly all of our limitations and our doubts and our things might start popping up in my, oh, I'm available, but not too much good, not too much prosperity, not too much, because I got this going and that going, and I don't know if I'm really worthy. Da da da. If you truly make yourself available, then watch out, because it just might come. And when it comes, you better be anchored in the awareness that you are enough, which means that you're deserving, which means that you're worthy, which means all of those other things that come with enoughness. I am enough. So just take a deep breath. I am enough. And if you're really enough, and if you're really available, and you're really awake, then you're ready. Say, I am ready. I am ready. Yeah, come on. Let's do it all again. I'm awake. I'm available. I'm enough. I am ready. Let's do it. Now, we're talking about evolutionary love. Doesn't that feel good coming into it just launches us right into this space. We're talking about evolutionary love this month, and we talked last week how Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy, a cool cat, if you don't know who he is, wrote a bunch of books, check it out. But he was a great synthesizer of spiritual wisdom that came through the ages and began forming, even before he was born, into this movement we call New Thought. And he talks about love as this creative pulse of the universe that operates through mechanical law. He talked about how love was this cosmic force he says, a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. I love that. A cosmic force whose sweep is it's just irresistible. When you get into the track, into the motion, into the vibration of love, it's irresistible. But for far too long, our spiritual journey of awakening and developing and paying attention to life has been an individualistic quest. Right? It's been a self-centered. I'm going to sit on my meditation cushion and do my practice. And I'm not saying don't do that. Absolutely do that. But our awakening, if we're truly awakening into love and the vibration and the essence of the universe, then it means that there's a social component. It means that there's a community component. It means that there's a collective component. You can't wake up individually. If you wake up as an individual and you stay in whatever you have convinced your mind is a state of enlightened awareness, and you're there all by yourself, you're not awake, you're not enlightened, you're just dreaming. I'm going to say it again because somebody missed it. If your spiritual practice of waking up consciously and becoming more aware of who you are, what God is, all of that stuff, however you want to frame it, and you're doing it, and you wake up and you're all by yourself, you're not awake, you're not enlightened, you're just dreaming. You're leaning into your preferences. You've maybe in your mind created a space of shelter and comfort, and perhaps for good reason. Right? Maybe there's things going on in your life that you need that peaceful space. When I go to meditation, it's a quiet and it's a peaceful space that I need and cultivate and want in that moment. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying be aware. Right? But when true awakening comes, there's something collective and community-oriented about it. And that's what we're kind of leaning into and breaking down this month. So the authors of a book called Evolutionary Love Relationships, Andrew Harvey and Chris Sadie, say this: for far too long, spirituality has been framed as an isolationist or vertical experience, bereft of feelings and unconcerned with the impact on the external world. You find something called, quote-unquote, enlightenment alone on the meditation cushion. And last week we talked about, and then the book continues to kind of break down why that's not really the case. And last week we talked about how we don't change through coercion. We don't change the world externally through coercion or through fighting or through manipulation. We change it through relationship. We change it through love. We change it through building those bridges with those who are not like us, those who don't think like us, feel like us, etc. And so last week we talked about a couple of steps. I want us to remind us again and get us anchored in that. Hey, sometimes it just needs a little stretch. And that's not the first. Well, that's all the way at the bottom. There we go. Come on, wait. Oh, yeah, that one. Maybe I put them in the wrong order. I don't know. But we talked about this. We talked about how the first step is to know that there's a vibration of love that wants a relationship with you. There's a vibration of love in the universe, and it wants a relationship with you. And so our first duty is to seek that, to be awake and available and enough and all of those things, right? To be available to that vibration of love. It already is. It is the essence and the vibration that has created you and the universe around you and the infinite intelligence of all things folding and unfolding and evolving into creation. And it wants a relationship with you. And so we just allow that to penetrate our consciousness, that there's a love ethic in the universe, there's a love vibration in the universe, and it wants a relationship with me. It wants to know itself. Ernest Holmes said that the creation of spirit is spirit creating out of itself for the sole desire to know itself as its creation, right? So in other words, infinite intelligence, love vibration is all that there is, and then that essence, that energy wanted to know itself and therefore created you and created me and created everything that we see around us so that it could experience itself through its creation, right? Which is, oddly enough, consciously or unconsciously, how most of us got here as well, physically, from our parents, right? At some point, our parents, at least somewhere in their consciousness, wanted to know themselves through another human being, right? Wanted to experience some aspect of their self through their own creation. And so the universe wants to know itself through you. And so we allow ourselves to be available and awake to that. And then we talked about how to make our most sacred relationships, whether they're our business partner relationships or they're our intimate relationships, whatever they are for us, our most important relationships, to be ones that are refueling rather than toiling. Right? Especially romantic relationships. Your romantic relationships are supposed to be spaces and havens for refueling, not for places where you do work. Right? They're not places to toil and struggle and, we got to figure this out and we're committed to each other. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, stop it. Stop it. Just, and last week I gave you the key. Everybody remember the key? Just be what? Available. That was it. That was it. That's what I said. That's why I don't have a book on relationships, because it's just one page. You just open it up and just say, be available. That's it. That's the end of the book. Just be available, right? Whatever it is, be a space that is open and available. Spirit will fill in the rest that needs to follow that. And then give your gifts with abandon, which means to show up in a way that love is just flowing through you. You're looking for places to be generous. You're looking for places to be kind. You're looking for places to be compassionate, to be open and receptive. All of those things. And allow yourself to give those gifts with abandon so that the universe fills itself back up to and through you. All of these things combine to put ourselves in alignment with the cosmic force of love to have an evolutionary relationship with our being. An evolutionary. Now, I started last week talking about how, we often think consciously in terms of transforming the world, that there needs to be a love revolution. Right? We need to transform our politics. We need to transform our cities and communities. We need to transform the world and race relations and all of those different things through a love revolution, and that's still true. But the first step is to have a relationship with love evolution, that there's an evolving essence of love that wants to move through us, an evolutionary relationship with our being, which means what? It means that it will grow and change. It will grow and change. This love relationship will constantly court you and seek you, and you will constantly court and seek it. You'll notice that all the mystics and all the traditions, right? All the mystics and all the traditions, spiritually around the world, throughout time, have been people who have been deeply in love with the divine. And it's not that, we talk about Ernest Holmes had a deep wisdom and a great capacity to synthesize great wisdom. So he was incredibly intelligent, but he also had a love relationship that he never stopped growing and learning. And that's the truth for all the mystics and all the traditions, that while they have great wisdom and insight and they articulate those things and maybe performed miracles or experienced miracles in their lives or whatever it may be, but they never stopped being in love with the divine, which means they never stopped seeking it and they never stopped allowing it to seek them, so that they're open and receptive in that courting atmosphere. And so as we have that evolutionary relationship, we know that it will continue to grow and change as we grow and change. It'll continue to show up in new ways and invite us in to new ways of being with it. There's a book called The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm, and Bell Hooks talks about it in her work, All About Love. And he says in part this, he says, society must be organized in such a way that our social loving nature is not separate from our social existence, but rather that they become one. Society must be organized in such a way that our social loving nature is not separate from our social existence, but rather that they become one. He says, any society which excludes the development of love must in the long run perish of its own contradiction with the basic necessities of human nature. Any society which excludes the development, and I think I have this somewhere, but now I'm all confused about. That one's coming next. I'll get there. We'll just leave it right there. Any society that excludes the development of love must, in the long run, perish of its own contradiction with the basic necessities of human nature. In other words, if that evolutionary love relationship is not baked into how we are doing and being together, how we're creating communities, how we're creating society, how we're organizing our politics and our communities and our structures of being, our school systems, everything that includes how we are showing up for each other, if an evolutionary love relationship is not embedded into that, then what they're saying here is that that society must perish because it's out of sync with a basic necessity, the basic necessity that we all have to be in love, to be in relationship with something bigger than ourselves, to court that and to facilitate that, so that we move away from society and our societal living just being transactional, just being cosmetic, just being rote patterns and consumer driven and about survival, right? But that actually love is at the essence of it. Bell Hooks in her work says, I know no one who has embraced a love ethic whose life has not become joyous and more fulfilling. I know of no one who has embraced a love ethic whose life has not become joyous and more fulfilling. As we embrace this essence, then everything changes. That's why the affirmation today is about, I arm myself with that love. I know that it can transform everything. And my life changes as a result. Bell Hooks breaks down this idea that she picked up from Erich Fromm about how society must be organized. And she says that cultures of domination, rely heavily on a cultivation of fear as a way to ensure obedience. In our society, we make much of love, but we say little about fear. Yet we are all terribly afraid most of the time. As a culture, we are obsessed with the notion of safety. Yet we do not question why we live in states of extreme anxiety and dread. Fear is the primary force upholding structures of domination. So she says, cultures of domination, right? Fear and control. And when you stop and think about, they really paused and meditated on this when I read it again, and I thought, how much of our life, of our society, of our structure is based on some idea of dominance and fear and control. It's a little bit scary to pause and really start making a list, because it's just about everything, right? They had I think in Las Vegas, it was on the news the other night that one of the refineries for gasoline, for oil to make gasoline, had a leak, and so they put out a press statement about it. It was like, no big deal, we got it under control, but there was a leak, and we just don't panic buy gas because everything is fine. Guess what happened? Pop, pop, pop. They were lining up their lines around the block, cars just sitting there wasting gas, waiting to get some gas, right? And I thought, if they had just said nothing. But of course, we have to live in this sort of ultra-transparent society that, if we find out something after the fact and they didn't tell us, then we freak out about that. So they tried to get ahead of it and say, we got it under control, everything's fine. And they should have just stopped right there, and then walked back in the office or the building or whatever it was, right? I just have a question. I need to check in for a minute. Can I check in? Did anybody run out of toilet paper in the last 2 years? Because we were some scared, We were like, I don't know about this virus, but I need some toilet paper up in here. Did anybody like just run up against supply and be like, well, I don't, we can't go out now. That's it. We just. Cultures of domination rely on the cultivation of fear as a way to ensure obedience. In our society, bell hooks, we make much of love but say little about fear, yet we're all terribly afraid most of the time. As a culture, we're obsessed with the notion of safety, yet we do not question why we live in states of extreme anxiety and dread. Fear is the primary force upholding structures of domination. And so, how do we break free from that? How do we step away from that? How do we begin to change the narrative? So much of our world is still dominated by this fear and control. And it means that we have to be open and receptive to the idea of actually working to change things. And not just receptive to the idea or having the conviction that things must change, but to actually putting our hand and our shoulders to the wheel to make that change, to cultivate that change, to advocate for that change. And that's what I want to get into today. She gives a couple examples in her book, and one of them is she talks about, if we were to go door to door, or in here, if we were to walk, go around the room and do an opinion poll and ask people and say, well, how do you feel about domestic violence, right? 99%, right? We'd get a strong showing. It's not appropriate, it shouldn't exist, we should do something about it, et cetera, right? And she said we could go door to door in neighborhoods that vote differently, socioeconomics, et cetera, and we would get a strong showing that, domestic violence is not okay and it should be addressed and all this stuff, right? And she said we would go back through that house, so back through that neighborhood, and then talk about the ways in which our society perpetuates cultural dominance, the way our society perpetuates patriarchy and control and all of the nuanced things that contribute to, and therefore must change if we really want to address the issue that we all said that we care about. She said the approval rating for actually addressing those things would drop to the floor, right? So, I don't think we should change, and you just fill in the blank, all kinds of things. We talk about violence of culture in our video games, in our music, in our movies, and, the way access to guns, the way patriarchy is reinforced everywhere, all the things, right? It's a long list of things. I don't want to pick on any particular one thing, but what she says is that the approval rating for addressing those things would drop to the floor compared to the consciousness that everybody says, oh yeah, that should be addressed, that should change, that's not okay. But now here are the things that we got to do in order to make that change. And so we have to be willing then to begin to address the changes by breaking through. The first step is encountering this vibration of dominance is to break through. That's why we did those first few steps last week, to be open and available, that there's a love ethic that wants to live in me. Because if I am, as a spiritual being, living in that place where there is a love vibration in the universe that wants to live through me, then what I have secretly done in affirming that is I've made myself available to transformation. That's why the first step for the revolution of love has to be talking about evolutionary love. Because you make yourself available to an essence that in its primary state, in its very definition, is an evolutionary force. So if I'm open and available to love, then I'm open and available to this evolutionary force moving through me. If you are in or have been or wish to be in a successful relationship, you will notice that it changes. Right? And if there's any part of you seeking the old, I just wish it was the dead, that's a dead relationship because it's back there, right? And love doesn't live in the rearview mirror. It's an evolutionary force. And so it's always changing, evolving, and growing. And so if I say I'm open and available to love, then I'm open and available to evolution taking place, change of my thoughts and my consciousness. Bell hooks again. She says, to live our lives based on the principle of a love ethic, which is showing care, respect, knowledge, integrity, and willing to cooperate, then we have to be courageous. We have to learn how to face our fears. Learning how to face our fears is one way that we embrace love. Our fear may not go away, but it will not stand in the way. Those who love us have already chosen to embrace a love ethic, allowing it to govern and inform the way we act and think. And when we let our light shine, we draw to us and are drawn to other light bearers. We are not alone. Right? So it's all about putting yourself in relationship to this love vibration, allowing it to move through you in an evolutionary way. Now, then we get to the revolution, rather. So as we're open and available to the evolution taking place, then we get to the revolutionary act, and that's what I want to speak about really and break down today. This is from Valerie Carr's book, Revolutionary Love. How many people know it? It's such a great piece of work. You're going to get introduced to it a little bit here in a moment. And she says, love is a form of sweet labor, fierce, bloody, imperfect, and life-giving. It's a choice that we make over and over again. Love as labor can be taught, molded, and practiced. This love engages all of our emotions. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger protects that which is loved. And when we think that we have reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love. We should hear that again. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger protects that which is loved. And when we think that we have reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love. And so revolutionary love she defines as the choice to labor for others, for our opponents, and for ourselves in order to transform the world around us. She says it begins with wonder, where we say, you are a part of me that I do not know yet. It's not a formal code or a prescription, but an orientation to live in a way that is personally and politically sustained by joy. Loving only ourselves, I love this part. She says, loving only ourselves is escapism. Loving only our opponent is self-loathing. Loving only others is ineffective. All three practices are necessary to make the love revolutionary. Revolutionary love can only be practiced in community. And so that's step one, that we become open and available to the evolutionary vibration of love. Then we step into a revolutionary act, which, as I said in the beginning, immediately puts us in community. She says, you can't do this alone. This is not an individual practice. This automatically puts you in relationship with other people. And so her book, Revolutionary Love, is there in the lower corner. It's called See No Stranger, where she's got See No Stranger and Revolutionary Love. There's a whole Revolutionary Love project you can sign up for, which is committing to these practices. And she has this beautiful image where the book is summarized in this, what she calls the Revolutionary Love Compass. And it begins with that See No Stranger, that orange section there. And if you can't read it, I'll read it to you. But it says, when we're orienting ourselves towards others, our practice is to see no stranger. To understand, as she said, that you are just a part of me that I haven't met yet. Right? So everywhere that we go, you are just a part of me that I haven't met yet. You are just a part of me that I haven't met yet. You are just a part of me that I haven't met yet. And so we begin with and it starts in the inner circle there and goes out to the practice. And so it starts with that word there in the center, which is wonder, on the orange quadrant. Wonder. We begin with wonder. What is this person who I don't know, who's a stranger to me, who's I might have prejudged based on whatever condition or circumstance, what is their story? How did they get to be the way that they are, or the way that I'm perceiving them, or the way that I'm judging them, or the way that they're being judged by the world around me? We just begin with wonder or curiosity. You know, our theme for the month in the Science of Mind magazine, curiosity is a superpower. You know, so just curiosity, wonder, what is this person's story? How many times have you navigated through life and you've just wished that somebody would take the time to understand your story? Right? Say, you don't know me, right? You don't know my family. Anyway, wonder. Then as we begin to know somebody's story a little bit better, then she says, then we can grieve with them. We can even grieve for them. We can say that, you know, I know that there are things about this person that have shaped them and molded them in their life, and it wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always good. They weren't always loved. They weren't always accepted. They weren't always, and it gave them, you know, tics and ways of being that are showing up right now. Right? And so I can grieve in that loss for not having a perfect childhood, or not having, so-and-so there for them all the time, or for, being in self-doubt, or whatever it is. And then when we know somebody else's story, and Howard Thurman talks about this as well in his book, Jesus and the Disinherited, when we know somebody else's story, then we can fight for them. We can advocate, because we know that the love vibration that I'm open and receptive to is the same love vibration that is available to you. And if I know that your story, that it hasn't always been there for your life, then I can advocate for that change. I can fight for justice. I can fight for rights. I can fight for equality. I can fight for better home conditions, whatever it might be. I can begin to show up for others in a way that I would want the world to show up for me. That's what advocacy and allyship is, right? So wonder, grieving, and then fighting. Fighting is really advocating, right? And then I love the second one. She says, with our opponents, with people that we have, not just our strangers or the other, but people who we have defined as, their ideology, their way of showing up in the world, they are my opponent. And she uses specifically opponent, not enemy, right? Because enemy is sort of a fixed, permanent position, but opponent might be issue by issue or case by case and might change over time, etc. But she says, so your opponents in the world. I love this first part. She says the first part we must do is rage. Rage, in which she breaks that down and talks about anger. And I love this as a new thought, social justice advocate, because it means that we don't say, well, I just have to love everybody. We're all one. God is all there is, and they're just a stranger I haven't met yet, and they're part of me, and so I just need to open my arms and love. No, you know what? You get to rage. You get to rage and fight for what you believe in. You get to rage and right. She says anger protects that which is loved, right? So if I love justice, if I love my children, if I love equality, if I love equal rights, whatever it is that I would want my children to have, then I get to rage. I can have that rage and anger for any place where I see that that's not showing up. And it's not showing up because there are conscious things put in place to keep it from showing up. I get to be in my rage about that. She doesn't say, take it out on them, but she says own it, right? Own that passion and that anger, because that means that there's something worthy of protecting there. But then she says, listen. Listen to what it is that they think is important. Because what I've learned as I've been involved in justice and political issues and all various types of issues, what I've learned is that even people who I would define as my opponents and who are advocating for very different things, is that when I choose to listen, and it is a choice, what I find is that there are values and ways of being that they want to protect as well. Now, they might be different than mine. And they are different than mine, right? But I can begin to find common ground by saying, I know you value this framework or this way of seeing the world, and I value this way of seeing the world. Where's their common ground there, right? The protection that we want for our children, or, there's a value that is in commonplace. And then, I love this, she says, then our job, so we rage, we own that passion and that energy. She says, and then we can reimagine. Reimagine, use the power of our imagination, creativity, visioning, etc., to reimagine ourselves, to reimagine them, to reimagine the world in a way in which our opposition isn't necessary, right? Just reimagine. What would it look like if we didn't have to be in opposition to each other, right? What if it looked like, and when we do that, what I find often is that we tap into the energy of youth, right? Because I have found over my years, I was a part of the Youth of Religious Science of Centers for Spiritual Living, of moving our organization out of 2 organizations back into 1. We did it back in 2020 with a big teen camp. There's a long story that goes with that. But the adults, it took them another 12 years to figure it out, right? And all these committees and cooperation committees and bridge committees and this and that broke down, and fights and arguments again. And we did the youth, we just went there. We just went, this is a teaching that teaches oneness, and you got the same guy as the founder, so we don't get it. Let's just do it. Let's just be one organization, right? And we were in that space. And so when we begin to reimagine, we tap into that power of youth, where you talk to the youth today, and you talk about pronouns and gender expression and all the things that are being fought about in political houses and even houses of worship in some places, right? You talk to the youth, and they're like, We don't get it, right? It's just, they are who they are. We are who we are. We love them and we accept them. They're our friends. It's just, this is what's going on. What are you guys fighting about? What is this, right? Because they are the product of the reimagining, right? And what keeps progress from, what stops progress from moving forward is that instead of that cultivating that energy of them being the product of the reimagining, is that we force them into the constructs of the imagination or the ways of being that existed before they even got here. We said, you have to grow up. You have to mold to this way of the adult world. You have to choose sides. You have to do this. You have to do that. And they're like, no, we're bringing the new vision, baby. We're bringing the imagination. We're bringing the creativity. We're bringing the, what is this 2 boxes I have to choose from? There's a lot more paper available here. Why don't you give me a few more choices, right? Where's the line other? I'm going to teach you some things right now, right? It might even look different next week when I fill it out. How about that? Right? So they're in the energy of reimagination. So we get to own our passion, we choose to listen, and we get to reimagine a world in which opposition isn't necessary. You see how this practice of love begins to be revolutionary, begins to change the communities in which we live because it changes how we are showing up. And what's fueling it is the evolutionary energy of love that is constantly growing, changing, and changing us as we practice it. And then for ourselves, she says, when we find it difficult to love ourselves, Penelope already said it, right? The first step is we just breathe. Just breathe into that space. Just give yourself permission to just be right where you are. And that breathing is acceptance. You automatically allow more in, and your body automatically lets go of what's no longer useful anymore. Every time you take a breath, your body is doing it automatically. It's letting go of that which is no longer serving, and it's taking in exactly what it needs in that moment. So when we stop as a spiritual practice to just breathe, we're actually participating in that evolutionary nature of spirit. That spirit wants to breathe itself as us. In fact, we're told that the pneuma, the filling of the lungs, the breath of God comes into humanity. That's how we become awake and aware. Right? We allow that breath of God to come into us again. And then as we're awake and aware at a more conscious level through that breathing, she says we push. We're giving birth to something. That evolutionary love wants to give birth to something, a new idea, a new way of expressing, a new way of being. And so we got to push, just like in labor. We got to take a breath, and we got to push. We got to stretch ourselves. We got to be willing to lean into our growing edges, to lean into our discomfort, to lean into our fears a little bit, and say, what is it? Where do I need to push past? Because if we just retract and hold our breath, then we're not growing, and we're petrified by our fear. And so it's okay to do that. Like something takes our breath away, we and then breathe, and then find the courage to push a little bit. And that pushing, that challenging ourselves, that inviting ourselves to look a little deeper into what's really going on leads us to transition and transformation. And this is how we love ourselves. So the love compass, how to love others, how to love our opponents, how to love ourselves. We find ourselves in a revolutionary practice that can transform the world, and it must happen through community. She goes on, Valerie Carr, to say, joy is possible even amidst great labors. The labor of dying, the labor of birthing, the labor of betweens. We cannot force it. But when we create moments to breathe between labor pains and the surrender of senses to the present moment, to notice the colors and the lights and the feeling of being alive, here, together, joy comes more easily. In the face of horrors that are visited upon our daily world, in the struggles to protect our loved ones, choosing to let joy in is a revolutionary act. Joy returns us to everything good and beautiful and worth fighting for. So let's take a deep breath. So we affirm again, I am a vessel of evolutionary love. Yes. Let's do it again. Take a breath. I am a vessel of evolutionary love. I give myself permission to show up to life, armed with love, strong enough to transform everything. All is made new through love. I am a vessel of evolutionary love. And so it is, and so I let it be. Ashe, amen. Thank you. Peace and blessings.
So Ani DeFranco composed a song just to honor the work of Valerie Coer and the Revolutionary Love Project. And Ani DeFranco is a Canadian and American citizen, singer-songwriter, award-winning composer, and she has Righteous Babe Records. And this is one of her compositions called Revolutionary Love. I will tend my anger. I will tend my grief. I will achieve safety. I will find relief. I'll show myself mercy. I'll show myself respect. I'll decide when I'm ready to forgive but not forget. I will ask you questions. I'll try to understand. And if you give me your story, I will hold it in my hands. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. Revolutionary love. And even if you hurt me, I will not shut down. No, you can't make me hate you and carry that hate around. I will see no stranger, only parts of myself I don't yet know. I'll see right through evil, to a wound too scared to show. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. I will bring the love, revolutionary love. Revolutionary love. I have the power to stay open. I have the power to be the one that I've been waiting for, the one who sets me free. I can bring the love, revolutionary love. I can bring the love, revolutionary love. I can bring the love, revolutionary love. Revolutionary love. Thank you.
Thank you, Penelope. Thank you, Reverend David. And for this week, stay awake, breathe, and push. Okay? So it's time for us to acknowledge our first-time visitors. If this is your first time at SLCA, we invite you to stand so we may welcome you. Wow.
Welcome.
Wow, wonderful. It's wonderful. What's my name? Nana. A member of our welcome team would like to bring you a gift just for you. Please join a welcome ambassador for fellowship in the lobby following service. Thank you for choosing the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta as part of your celebration today. And it is a big celebration. You know, I just feel the love, I see the beauty, and you're all looking good. Well, thank you. I'm only reflecting you. As we enter our time for grateful giving, we want to thank each of you that faithfully gives to SLCA. It is because of your contributions that we can continue to spread our message of oneness. If you were inspired by this message today, please consider becoming a recurring pledger or give what is on your heart today. You can conveniently text your gift to 404-800-9467. You may give with your credit card on our website or by using our digital program with the QR code displayed on the screen. If you wish to give by cash or check, our ushers will be coming through the aisles shortly to receive your contribution. So as you hold your pledge card or gift to your heart, please join me in saying our grateful giving affirmation. Back here. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life turns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you.
Yes. And I give from a place of abundance. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Come on and join me. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Amen. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Come on now. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Yes, I do. Way to go, team. All right. That felt good, didn't it? Good morning, Mally.
Good morning, all you evolutionary lovers. You gonna do it. You is doing it. My name's Mally LaPete. My pronouns are she and her, and I gladly serve on the SLCA Creative Arts team. We're so happy that you chose to begin your year with SLCA. We have so many great opportunities to connect, grow, serve, and give at our center. So for more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, scan the QR code found on the back of the chair in front of you or the one shown on the monitor. along with my lovely face. Oh my God. You may also visit our information wall in the lobby after service. We would love to thank our loyal pledgers who give faithfully to SLCA. Thank you so much. Join us after service today for yet another amazing lineup of some Atlanta's finest jazz musicians, including Penelope. Thanks to a generous grant, this event is free to everyone. Connect with Reverend Susan Zoller this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom for our Science of Mind gathering. Reverend Susan is deeply rooted in this teaching and brings a wealth of knowledge on how to apply our teaching to your daily living. Game night is back, and we can't wait to see you there. Yay! Bring your favorite game and a snack to share as we spend the evening enjoying great company and fun games. I've been there. It is very fun. We will meet at the center right here at 6 p.m. on Friday, February 24th. Plan now to join us for an important SLCA town hall meeting after the service on February 26th. This town hall is filled with information that you don't want to miss. Will our practitioners please make yourselves known in person and in the online chat at this time to be recognized? Hello and thank you. We welcome each of you in need of prayer to remain in the room or reach out to a practitioner online for one-on-one prayer with a licensed practitioner. In-person practitioners will be sitting in chairs on both sides of the sanctuary after the service today. Thank you so much for joining us. You belong.
Thank you, Val. Let's close our morning service with Let There Be Peace on Earth, and I invite you to stand with us as it feels comfortable. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God, our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Amen, amen. Happy Valentine's week, everyone. We love you so much. We hope you'll join us this afternoon, and have a great week. Thank you.